All right, ready?
If you are.
All right, I'm ready. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I am your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Sunday afternoon for the start of NFL football, or as the Panthers call it, just another day off. We're ready to do some podcasting. You can find us everywhere you find podcasts. Just search the Black Guy Who Tips on all the platforms, including Amazon Music now. And leave us 5-star reviews and stuff on the Apple Podcast. We'll read them on the air. All the contact info is in the show notes. The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
and the unofficial sport,
bullet ball,
and bullet ball extreme. All right, you know how it is. It's been a minute since we got to do just a regular episode. No guests, no recaps, just us talking and hanging out and shooting the shit, as the kids say. But you know what that also means is that we have our segments to get into, and that one segment, coronavirus.
Again? Look, here we go again. We got variants. Really need to keep a mask on hand and follow the plan. Get the vaccine and second shots, whether woman or man. Black Guy Who Tips is doing their part, but the dummies expand. Niggas would rather believe a bunch of misinformation. Fuck y'all idiots not getting shots. Now we gotta regress. If we keep going in this direction, we never can rest. Never can get back to the lives we be living the best. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the intubation crying. Cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the ventilator crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. I do not understand this shit. I'm not a fan of this. We were like one win from the pandemic championship, but fuckers wanna leave it to game 7 with Giannis Delta Kumpo blocking forward progression and Chris middle fingers to your plans. Man, damn. Looks like it's no true holiday for you and your mans. I'm sick of black people dying for real, so I'm just writing this new piece to let you know how I feel. Coronavirus, yeah. Fuck that COVID-19 is unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah. So fuck that COVID-19 is unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah.
Coronavirus. All right, let's talk about coronavirus news. Got a few articles here. Medical experts reject Florida Surgeon General's COVID-19 vaccine guidance. He's facing major backlash and blowback from the medical community after warning men against taking Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines, and highlighting an analysis claiming the shots increase the risk of cardiac-related deaths. So he's like a Joe Rogan conspiracy theorist, but he's the Surgeon General of fucking Florida. Like,
this is stupid, because guess what we do know? We know that COVID actually affects like the blood system and the bloodstream, and they have done enough studies to know that people who have had COVID, particularly long COVID, have a lot of heart things that happen. They have increased heart attacks, increased strokes, and things like that. Like, what is
even myocarditis? The one thing that they attribute to a very slim percentage of people that get vaccinated and end up with increased risk of myocarditis. Even that is much higher for people who have COVID. The sad part, I put his picture up here, is a black dude. And it reminds me of when Trump had that black Surgeon General that was basically a shill, and he was going out there and lying and
just saying stupid
just
shit,
supporting whatever Trump said. And it's I don't know, it's just sad that I think the sad thing to me is because people are gonna bang on the CDC right now, and that's fine. I'm not fighting that fight, but they bang on the CDC under Biden and Democrats and stuff, and they're like, look at this, they're a political office. This is nothing they say is true, whatever the fuck. We have no faith in them. But it always starts under Republicans that they're like, this is going to operate as a political office. And it's because they are the ones who say, like, everything is politics. Everything that doesn't agree with what I'm saying is political. I'm the only person you can trust to tell you the truth. And they turn these things that are supposed to be non-biased, just scientific fact jobs,
right?
They turn them into like, I'm not hiring anybody that won't just say what the fuck I tell them to say. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Ron DeSantis has the only attorney general out there saying stupid shit like this.
Only attorney general that's saying this dumb shit.
It's crazy.
And it's also something that boils down to, just because you black, it does not mean that black people as the populace are stupid enough just to follow behind you, even though that's what a lot of white people think we do. But a lot of times they're the one that massively follow behind the dumbest, stupid shit ever, and they just assume we do the same thing too, and that's not a true statement.
Biden administration extends COVID public health emergency. So for all the Biden administration is acting like it's not happening, act like the CDC is all bullshit. They just say it's over. The Biden administration said Thursday, this is October 13th, so like 10 days ago, that the COVID-19 public health emergency will continue through at least January 11th as officials brace for a spike in cases this winter. The decision comes as the pandemic has faded from the forefront of many people's minds. Daily deaths and infections are dropping, and people, many of them maskless, are returning to schools, works, and grocery stores as normal. The public health emergency, first declared January 2020 and renewed every 90 days since, has dramatically changed how health services are delivered. So yeah, and I wonder if this means they also extends the government at least paying for people's shots for now, because eventually that's going to come to an end too. And while people with insurance and stuff will be fine, and there may be some medical programs and stuff like that for other people, there might be people that have to start paying for these fucking COVID vaccines and that are just not getting them for some reason.
Yeah, and also what people fail to realize, even if you go in now, even though it's not, they don't charge you for it, they still actually run your insurance now. Well, right. Before, insurance was not even, it wasn't in the question. You coming from the shot, here your shot. Now it's like, let me run your insurance. Do you have insurance? Let me run your card. So they kind of already keeping a tally on that shit. And I don't know how much them shots cost, but I guarantee you them bitches ain't cheap.
Yep. Spores COVID-19 XBB infections to peak in mid-November. Cannot rule out bringing back mask rules. This is the Straits Times, which I believe is the UK. Yeah. Oh no, it's Singapore. There you go. The current wave of COVID-19 infections is being driven by the XBB subvariant and is expected to peak around 15,000 cases daily by mid-November. Projections based on previous waves of infection show that Singapore has adequate healthcare capacity to cope with the rise of coronavirus cases, said the Ministry of Health. Public hospitals here have already used various measures, such as deferring non-urgent admissions to provide 200 more beds to care for COVID-19 patients. In the coming 2 weeks, public hospitals will operate at a total of more than 800 beds for COVID-19 patients, the ministry said. So I guess they're going through a spike now with this XBB variant. I don't know Singapore's vaccination status and whatnot though, which is a huge part of this. Like, are they vaccinated there? Are they, whatever? And of course they're saying, hey, we might have to bring back stricter mask mandates with the numbers going up. This is something I think about if and when we have a spike here in the winter. How many municipalities are willing to be like, yeah, we're bringing the mask back? I know everybody's gonna look at like just the CDC, but also like your local government has always been the people who decide to act on the CDC recommendations or not. Many of them stopped doing the mask thing before the CDC told people to stop, which
and so who you vote for matters, because the people that's in office will determine that. And if you have people in office that don't care or either about their populace, because they're actually supposed to represent the populace, if they don't care about their populace, or either the populace that they are concerned about is the populace that don't give a fuck about this virus and people dying from it, they're not going to do it. And I think, and it's because this thing has become so political, there even going to be some Democratic municipalities that aren't going to do it because even a lot of Democrats are anti-mask now. On the low, because they're like, I've taken my shots, I've done what I was supposed to, I take my mask off and I refuse to put it back on. So even a lot of Democrats is running for office. It's like right now, if you say put your mask back on, it's like a sour across the board, kind of regardless of what your political affiliation is. And I know a lot of our audience of people, listen to us are like, I got my shots, I social distance, or either I'm doing things, but I'm doing them safely. It's a lot of people, they don't give a fuck. When they said I could take my mask off, when them kids got them shots, they stopped caring about other people, period. And that's just the truth. So I could see them even doing it in this country. I could see them even doing it in even some Democratic municipalities, depending on how the voting populace is and how the voting populace votes. And particularly if the voting populace don't give them confidence that if they do this, they will get reelected. They're not doing it.
Yeah, I think also even in Democratic places, you have Republicans that live there that are the ones that throw the temper tantrums and run up on the state capitol buildings and shit. So there's a fear of giving them something to galvanize around, and I do worry about that because I think that there's the social media Twitter like kind of like theory of life where everybody has neat little rules and it's on and it's off switches and it's black and it's white. But then there's like real life where you have to like govern actual people where if even 5% of the people are upset and got guns and run up on the state capitol,
it's a problem.
That's scary to the politicians. You know what I'm saying?
And they know
so that. I think less than 5%, probably 0.5%. Anyway, the point being a lot of these Republicans are looking for stuff to gather around, and they're looking for like they're bringing about this is against my freedom and all this shit. And so you hope people had a backbone to do the right thing and be like, fuck it, they're just gonna have to be upset with me. But I worry about it because I think a lot less people, as you said, even Democrats that vote Democrat and liberal and progressive people, even a lot of them are kind of like, yeah, I'm over the mass shit. So
because the thing is, people have to show up and vote if they know that
yeah, absolutely. I'm saying yes, but even in those cases, I worry.
Oh yeah,
that people are just over it, whether they have the voting mandate or not, like that. Whether they think they're gonna lose at an election or not, I think some people are just like, it's not popular, so I'm not gonna bring it back.
Agreed.
And I'm not stopping anyone from wearing a mask. So if you want to wear a mask, go ahead.
Wear one, but I'm not gonna make it mandatory for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Boston University COVID researchers combined Omicron spike protein with original virus and tested strain on mice. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the point of the research was. I'm sure it does have some scientific basis. I just don't understand. But this shit killed 80% of the mice. Some people were saying like this shit is even more dangerous or whatever, but I don't know. The people are scared of the scientists fucking around with a virus that has already been a pandemic, a global endemic at this point, and being like, what if we mix it with this? They're like, yeah, maybe don't do that. Maybe that's
have
not.
Y'all seen enough movies where y'all get to fucking with shit? Next thing you know, we have something brand fucking new because y'all wanted to string some shit together.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons like this research isn't like final or whatever. Like they didn't use humanized mice, which I guess is like a
type or something,
a different type of mice that more directly correlates to predicting how the vaccine would work with humans and stuff like that. So it was like a very the first headline I read about this was not the one I just read y'all. It was like the Boston lab experiments with combining COVID strains kills 80% with an 80% kill rate. And I was like, whoa, God. And then you read it and it's like, well, the original, they said the original COVID had 100% kill rate in the mice. So it's like even the combined one is less deadly, and this doesn't seem to be peer reviewed, doesn't seem to be humanized mice. It seems like they just want to scare shit out of us. Which aren't we scared enough? Aren't we scared enough, guys? California is ending their COVID-19 state of emergency. That's a Democrat led state. Gavin Newsom is definitely not. He doesn't seem to be running out of fear. Like, oh God, they're gonna come get me if I. So I mean, I don't know what to do with the by mixed messaging. Like, and I think I'm just being honest. It's the world that is seeming to. It's not just America or California. People, I think we're so myopic in America. Every time something happens here, we just assume it's not happening anywhere else. But you go on social media and you see people with these long threads and rants about like, why are we letting the COVID stuff expire? Why aren't we doubling down? This is the time. And I don't know. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're not. I just know they've been saying that the whole time.
Right.
I don't think those people would ever find a time that we could let up. Like, honest to God, I think we'd be 10 years from now and those people are going to be making threads like we should not ever go back outside and not wear a mask and I mean, I hear them, but I just don't think
that's not realistic.
Yeah, I think when you add in the fact that we're talking about human beings, it ain't gonna happen.
No.
So like people were not going to do this forever. You had people scared, people that got vaccinated, the lower death rates, the lower long-term illnesses rates, the lower hospitalization rates. You're gonna have people go, I'm not as scared anymore. Right. I'm vaccinated, or I
did everything that y'all said I was.
The hospital's not full anymore. Right. I don't have to wait, die outside. And maybe that's something we have to watch and see if it comes back, but it doesn't seem to be coming back. Even when it ticks up a little bit, it's not sustainable. It's still trending downwards in general. Mm-hmm. And I don't think like these people will tell you it's never going to go away. So that means we're living with it. Mm-hmm. And living with it is going to look like this probably, where people are going to get sick sometimes, or people are going to still go out and do stuff and just take the risk of being sick.
Right.
So yeah, if California is saying that, I feel like that's a pretty big liberal like spot on the map in America. And if they're going, yeah, we're ending the state, that we're ending that you can go out. I think that's kind of marks a big turning point.
Yeah, and there's a lot of moving factors. Like, I know, like you said, you have this contingent of people that's like that, but the economy because in America, economy has to keep moving. People still have bills. Shit don't stop because the pandemic decided to run through the buildings. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where people are running these. They have companies and businesses and all types of things that they have to look at. That you individuals sitting your ass at home, probably at privilege.
Well,
you don't have to make any of those decisions. It's going to affect these people.
Well, it did stop for a bit, but it wasn't gonna be in perpetuity. Mm-hmm. I mean, it did stop for a bit. They were sending us checks saying, stay your ass home. They were giving PPP loans and paying off people's companies and restaurants and stuff, like trying to keep the economy afloat with government money until a time where people would at least be able to go outside more safe than they were. Mm-hmm. And it's been interesting to see how, as these things start to wind back up and get back into full swing, people are very much no. Like some people are like no, and it's like, yeah, this is just kind of be it and gonna be it. And yes, it's this way everywhere. I don't know that anyone's in complete still like lockdown mode or still got these strict mandates and still paying businesses to stay closed. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a wrap.
Oh yeah. All I was saying was that like these people that are saying that, I'm like, I agree with you. They're going to be like that no matter what.
Yeah.
And the politicians was like, hey, we can't expect this to be forever. We have to get this economy running. Like we can't hold everything back for a 0.0 percentage of people that are like, I'm not going outside no matter what. And
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm actually saying like the only thing you said was that it was like it's something like we never stopped or whatever. I was like, we did stop. So like we tried that wasn't gonna last forever. Republicans was like, we not approving that no more. There's some Democratic senators that like, we not approving no more money. Motherfuckers gonna have to get back to work. Like we actually did do the stop in America for a bit. Mm-hmm. That I hope. I mean, I don't think anybody believed that shit was gonna be forever.
I hope not. And truth be told, and maybe it's just me, a lot of these people that are like, I'm not going out no matter what, never again. A lot of that is PTSD, no matter how they say it, no matter how they put it up there. Because like I said, I'm mentally a lot better space than I used to be, because I used to be that person, particularly when this shit first, but I was like, the fuck is this? No. Mm-hmm. And I had to learn how to navigate that and work around that. And as the vaccines came out, like it is a process to get through. And a lot of these people aren't doing the work to kind of calm that, and because that's a form of anxiety, calm that anxiety down, where anytime this topic comes up, they don't automatically go to a 10.
Yeah, this is kind of this thing of like, you almost want to go like, can't, like when I see people doing stuff, I'm always like, can I do that? Like I'm still thinking in my mind, like, You know, it's like, oh, man, just finished playing basketball. I'm like, I guess I can go play basketball. I haven't, but am I in a place where I can do that? Do I feel safe doing that? You know, because a lot of it's about feelings and stuff, because you're never going to get the math down to 0. So it's just like, what do you feel comfortable taking a chance with? And
right. And that's the reality of it. And everybody's area or space of being comfortable varies. It varies all over the place. And it's an individual thing. So you have all these individuals that have different levels of comfort, all trying to mishmash together. And that's where the conflict comes in. Because you have some people that are going, fuck it. And you got some people that are going, no, not fuck it. Like, come on now. And, you know, you sending them back to work and you putting them in all these environments and shit like that. And for some people, they're like, I don't feel safe. And people are like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you feel safe? When they breathing out in your face and you're like, hey, back up. And I could see, you know, people having to work through that, because the reality is nobody can stay at home forever.
Yeah, the fear also is a big attention driver. Is good content for people, not just on the Democrat or liberal side or social media side. Everywhere, Republicans are still using COVID fear to get ratings. Like Tucker Carlson did a segment trying to say the CDC was going to force kids to get COVID-19 vaccines in order to attend schools.
They already have mandates,
and so the CDC had to come out and correct the claim that they can recommend, they can't mandate COVID shot vaccines in schools.
A lot of that probably is up to the states.
Yeah, it's up to the municipalities and stuff. It doesn't, the CDC, here's the thing about the CDC, and it's always been a big misnomer the entire pandemic, and it's kind of been sad, I think, because I've seen people get upset about their authority and say they're bad and all this stuff. But they've never been able to mandate anything. It's always been recommendations.
A suggestion.
The difference was in the beginning of the pandemic, people were scared. So when people were scared, they were like, what did the CDC say? Let's do that. But the CDC has always been like, hey, maybe don't go on a cruise right now. And then the cruise companies be like, yeah, don't go on a cruise. But there was no law. There was no mandate. There's no enforcement arm of the CDC that goes, we keeping people off of cruises. We told y'all not to do this. So I think that has been a huge disservice. And I know the reason it happened is because people like me and you obviously are like, do what the CDC says. The CDC, they fucking, because they were making sense, and we don't want you to do what Joe Rogan tells you. We don't want you to do what Tucker Carlson. We're like, do what the CDC got more integrity and more blah 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 than everybody else at this point. But they weren't the ones making anything happen.
No,
you know, like as far as like we're gonna check to make sure that these restaurants is doing this. Those are always down to like your local police, your local politicians, your governors, your senators, stuff like that,
right, your congressmen. All these things matter. You know, and so when shit like this happened, and they're already, if every state varies, but most states have some form of mandate for children before they can even enter school, and the continuation of shots throughout.
This vaccine isn't on that list yet.
Not yet.
Anyway, but it may be on there at some point. You know, it takes a while. It just didn't go through the traditional vaccine channels because we use RNA for the first time, but obviously we've done billions and billions of doses test on the world at this point,
right?
Real world things, and it's been extremely safe. So yeah, you're going to end up with people, and hopefully at some point this will be a thing that you have to take to go to school.
Yeah, and also you have to look at them people and you go, okay, I see what happens in areas that are like anti-vax. What pops back up? The whooping cough. What pops back up? Polio. Like this shit pops back up in these areas where y'all be like, fuck a vaccine.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some regular news. Let's go to the old vault and pick a random beat to the regular news.
Hey, regular news time. Hey, regular news time. Relaxing time. Regular news time. Hey, hey.
Infrared crypto. All right.
That changes your mood.
I guess let's go through the Kanye news real quick. Kanye credits Ice Cube for his anti-Semitism vibe and vows to finish the job. And then Ice Cube came out and said, I'm not anti-Semitic. Cube, why are you saying?
No. I can see Ice Cube coming out and be like, I didn't say
that. That's very interesting because he did say that.
Oh, he did. I didn't know.
Ice Cube has been very anti-Semitic his whole career.
No!
And even in 2020 when he was doing the fucking platinum plan and shit, he said some weird shit then during that run. But now he is saying, no, I didn't say that.
He don't want to fuck up his money.
Which is very interesting. Cube really set me up for this. He said, for addressing the Hollywood mogul directly, you really influenced me to get on this anti-Semite vibe. I'm here to finish the job, he said. And yeah, he's definitely said and done and aligned with some anti-Semitic people. But now he got the big three trying to be on TV.
Trying to get in these spaces.
And he does not want to be affiliated with Kanye right now.
Nobody does.
So interesting. Kanye, the mother of George Floyd's daughter, files a $250 million lawsuit against Kanye over his false comments about Floyd's death. I think this is probably a one of the fallouts from the lawsuit with Alex Jones. Now it's a little bit more complicated than people think. It's not just her suing Kanye West. It's like he went on different podcasts and was promoting this shit. People are giving him a platform. There's a documentary by Candace Owens that is partially where these claims come from. And it's this documentary basically saying that the whole George Floyd thing was fake. So yeah. And Kanye West, Ray J, some other people like were in attendance at the documentary, taking pictures at the premiere. It was very weird and disturbing. During the interview that aired over the weekend, and has now been removed from YouTube because Nori and them did Drink Champs interview, and I guess somebody at the Revolt legal team hit them up and said, "Hey,
no sir,
did y'all not see what happened to Alex Jones? You can't put shit like this out here." The rapper and business mogul falsely claimed that Floyd wasn't murdered by former officer Derek Chauvin, but that he died of fentanyl, echoing claims made in Candace Owens' documentary "The Greatest Lie Ever Sold." So yeah, he's gonna end up being named in this suit too. But I think we're also gonna see Candace Owens named. Maybe we'll even see Revolt and Nori and them named, even though they took it down. I don't think the way that Nori was talking, it didn't sound like they took it down because they were like, "Oh, we see now that this is a mistake." It sounded like he took it down because he was bragging about it at first. Like, "Yeah, that's right. I got the most views. They watch me more than football. Ha ha ha." And it seems like, that somebody got the message like we shouldn't be saying that.
Because money causes things to move, and it's one of these things where, like you said, that they're actually watching these other cases, and it's like what you're saying is not facts. You're actually making shit up, and it's one of these things where this shit is with the court. This shit has been proven. What you're not gonna do is this bullshit right here and think it's all good.
And they asked you to stop. You don't stop. These people ignore this shit. Like we hear about this part of the news and we just act like the woman woke up one day and said, "I'm going to the motherfucking law. We suing people today. I'm crazy." All of a sudden,
they cease and desist. They get them. They just
millions of comments have been made about George Floyd and what happened. Right? We're talking Fox News, conservative outlets and stuff, but some of this shit is so outrageous, it's so egregious that I do think it's extremely dangerous to spread these conspiracies. We saw the cost of this shit with our elections. We saw the cost of this shit with the COVID deaths in America. We've seen the cost of unregulated, like it's just a freedom of speech issue to go and lie about something that is provably false and we just, hey, you get your reality, I get mine, if no one can do anything about it. It's not even a criminal case, it's just a lawsuit civilly, like, can you stop? I don't think that what is missed here is like people, because I'm sure people go, well, it's not as bad as Alex Jones with Sandy Hook. He did that for years. It started with one show. It started with them asking him to stop and him saying, fuck you, I'm gonna keep going.
Right.
And then, so if the thing is everything has to rise to 8 years later, I can finally get my justice in court. Well, today's the day we're fucking starting. Let's start with the justice fight right now then, motherfucker. Because this shit is so, it's just so dangerous. It's super disrespectful and all that. I get the emotional part of it too. Like, I'm just angry about it and how dare you talk about my family. But it's also like, just, it is dangerous to keep platforming stuff like this. I feel a little differently with Kanye in that I think he's just out of his fucking mind right now. He's unmedicated. But I think he should still there's still accountability, whether or not, whether he's not taking care of his health or not, there's still accountability that has to be had. I'm not responsible for caring about your mental health, but if you put my family's name and lies in the fucking press and the media and try to make money and get attention off of it,
I might have something to say about that.
I think I should be able to say, shut the fuck up or I'm suing you. Like, I'm going to make this not profitable for you. That's the least I can do.
And make it inconvenient for anybody else moving forward.
Yeah. So I kind of, I get the people be worried about slippery slope or whatever, but this one to me isn't slippery slope. Not yet. Like, this is what these kind of these libel and slander and defamation, this is what these laws are on the books for shit like this. But what I find interesting, though, is that you're seeing movement to actually deplatform Kanye West from certain circles, like Anna Wintour cuts ties with Ye. Vogue will no longer work with him. There was another dude. Fuck, why can't I find this article anymore? But yeah, there was another dude. Fuck, I gotta look this article back up. I can't believe I lost it. But I want to say he's the CEO of Endeavor, and he said, yeah, people need to start working with him, like deplatform him about this stuff. And it's just that highlighting the irony of all this shit, which is, Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel calls on companies to end business relationships with Kanye West. It's the interesting part of this is he's been anti-black, misogynist, a bunch of shit for a long time now. He's delved into homophobic stuff and whatnot, and yet and clearly, in my belief, a lot of this rants and stuff are because he's just unmedicated and he's out here saying whatever the fuck, It is interesting to see the people draw the line now. Like, I don't know what it was. I suspect what it was is this. White people did not feel comfortable calling out a black man who was being anti-black and talking about race.
I can see that.
Because they think that's not their domain, and there's a lot of mixed messaging about when and where white people can interject on conversations about black race stuff.
Yes, it is.
So even if he goes, Black Lives Matter was a scam, there's a lot of black people who aren't coons who think Black Lives Matter, the organization, is a scam. You know what I'm like? That's a tough one. There's when he's talking about this woman is keeping me as a black father away from my kids. White people probably don't want to interject in that. They, because there's a group of black people who jump on white folks for saying stuff like
anything.
For saying stuff like Kanye West, they need to call the police on him because he's threatening Kim Kardashian. And then you'll see people bring up, so a black man can't want to be a father. And then white people go, oh God, I don't have the fucking expertise. Let me just shut the fuck up, But the one place where they can say, okay, that's too far, has always been anti-Semitism.
Right, because it was like, hey, we know this. Like, what you ain't gonna do is this shit.
So I really think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, this is our lane, basically.
For a lot of people, where we can step up and say anti-Semitism is wrong. And the reason that I think even white people who aren't Jewish will step up into that is because America was on the right side of World War II.
Yes.
So protecting Jewish people and it being a sin that we were not participating in, and that we're the hero of that cause is traditionally handed down, even in our textbooks in school, as, hey, we stand up against the oppression of Jewish people.
Right.
Even between Israel and Palestine, people will flip it into like, it's really about protecting Jewish people. Like, it's like, that's the one place that is a unifying theme in American history for white folks to say, yeah, we can speak up on this. But I think it's interesting that when it is black people, when it is trans people, it was a lot more silence, because I think people feel complicit in that shit. So they're like, I don't want to call out as anti-blackness. I've been anti-black, or
I've done some things that people might think that's anti-black,
or this. There's a bad faith and good faith people who will hop on white people and be like, you don't get to talk about anything black,
right?
Even when white people have a good fucking point. I see it all the time where it's like, I know that white person has a good point, and someone will be like, shut your white ass up, you don't know nothing about this. This is one of the few times, no matter who the person is saying it, you can be like, you're anti-Semitic and we can get rid of you now. Right. So I think that's what it is. But I feel like it keeps getting confused for like, see, when you talk about the Jews, they shut you down. It's like, no, it's just one of the few places where people can say with authority, this is wrong.
Right.
You know, even when Kevin Hart and the stuff with the Oscars, there were so many white people that did, like, they jumped in it to be like, it is wrong that Kevin Hart had anti-Semitic jokes. And that Kevin Hart had anti-gay jokes. And then people said, shut the fuck up. He's a black man. Why y'all? So when Ricky Gervais does this, you know, it turns into something else. And then people do get scared and go, oh, let me shut the fuck up. When Will Smith punched Chris Rock, people jumped on Judd Apatow shit for being like, you know, this is a crime. He should have gone to jail or whatever. And people were like, you racist white people always want someone to go to jail. So like, this is one of the only areas in America where people go, yeah, deplatform this guy. And everybody's like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one we agree about. That's my guess. That's my take. But you know, could just be racism. I don't know. Let's see what else happened. United States of cussing. Every U.S. state's favorite swear word.
Ooh, this ought to be good.
They got some facts about cussing on here.
Okay, let's go.
You know,
I don't know the history of cussing. I just know people cussed around me and you just pick it up.
Tuesday is America's favorite day of the week to let a cuss word rip on Twitter. So
not Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, so they count all the cuss words. It was like Tuesday wins every week. Yeah.
Fucking Tuesday. They did this by going on Twitter to see where, like, when and where and how people were cursing. On January 6th, that was when we had the most curse words on Twitter.
I can see that.
I don't know what happened January 6th, 2021, but some reason. On May 24th, 2022, there was a mass shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. That was the second time that we had the most cuss words. Like I said, Tuesday, the most cuss words during an hour of the day, 1 a.m.
The night crew?
The night crew. Night Twitter. Night shift.
Third shift Twitter?
Third shift Twitter.
That's what we call y'all, third shift.
Clocking the fuck in.
Right. The rest of us is going to bed and getting ready to go to bed.
Holidays. Independence Day is when you see the most cuss words during the holiday for the year.
Because people blowing up themselves with fireworks.
Then they have each state with the swear words, but it's kind of weird, this map that they have. Let's see if they also have a list. Okay, well, I'll just tell you right now. North Carolina, South Carolina had the same number one cuss word. What do you think it is, Karen?
I can see that.
What do you think it is?
Motherfucker.
Wrong. It's bitch.
Yes, I'm like a good bitch.
I do like a good bitch.
I use bitch like I use nigga as a person, place, a thing, or object. It don't even make sense, but I'm a find a place for it. It's an adjective, an adverb.
Florida, and then like that, the Southern Gulf, like handle area, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, shit. So I can see that too, you know. I like maybe it's shit, you know, that southern.
Yes,
they got some of that southern shit going on down there. Looks like Vermont and New Hampshire have fuck. Maine has shit. Rhode Island has hell. New Jersey has shit. Delaware got shit. Pennsylvania got shit. New York as well got shit. Interesting. But Connecticut, bitch. They went off the board. Fuck is big in New Mexico, Oklahoma area. Texas is fuck. Kansas is motherfucker.
I had the mother in there.
Wyoming is shit. Idaho is crap. Now I don't think crap counts as a cuss word.
Me either.
I'm also interested that is not Minnesota. I thought Minnesota would be a crap state. I feel like Minnesota does the most crap, you know, but instead they got hell. North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska got hell too. Alaska has dick.
Probably their dick freezing off. It's so goddamn cold.
And Hawaii has fuck. I love how they spelled out the fuck with F-U-C-K on each island. That's amazing. So yeah, there you go. That's the cuss words per state. Georgia is the most foul mouth state.
Oh, Georgia?
Most of that probably coming from Atlanta.
You know what? Yes, sir.
North Carolina is the 31st most foul mouth state. So I think that's right. Yeah. Let's see. Georgia is America's most foul mouth state. What's it? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So it's swears per tweets. North Carolina has 31. Georgia has 48. New Mexico has 45. So yes, and Maryland has 46. Shout out to the DMV area. Let's see the top 10 names that swear the most and the least. Top 10 that swear the most and the least. I can't run. I won't run through all of them.
Top 10 states.
Names.
Oh, names. Oh, like the names of the people.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It was Karen number 1.
Karen isn't on either list.
What?
Yeah, Karen. So Kai is number 1 with the top 10. No, it's 64. That could just be one guy on Twitter that cussing every tweet, right?
Yes, and that's their name.
Kai, June, Louis, Anna, Ari, Marcus, Mario, Adrian, Jay, and Kayla. The least swears: Mary, Allison, Maria, Patrick, Casey, Peter, Steven, Rachel, Jennifer, and Kimberly. That's the least swears. So name, if you don't want your kids to cuss, you know what to name them. Top 10 cities where people cuss the most. Atlanta, Georgia. I was right.
Like somebody says a traffic. I was like, yeah, I could see you being mad. Yep. Yeah, sitting something is 10 minutes away, but it's a 45-minute drive because of traffic.
Stockton, California. Newark, New Jersey. Shout out to Gordon Baker Bone. El Paso, Texas. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Greensboro, North Carolina.
Just random Greensboro.
Okay, Fonte. I see you, little brother. Baltimore, Baton Rouge, Columbus, Georgia, and Colorado Springs, Colorado. And then top 10 cities where they cuss the least: Indianapolis, Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay.
St. Paul, Minnesota. Anchorage, Alaska. Jacksonville, Florida. Washington, D.C. What? Durham, NC. What? Boise, Idaho.
Who was they interviewing for this?
New York City.
Is the least likely?
That's the second least. And Minneapolis, Minnesota is the least, period. The reason I think the New York City is up there is because of population density. It has to be that you divided by so many people that eventually it's like, yeah, they don't cuss that much.
The numbers that dilute each other.
Yeah. The top 10 swear words in America: fuck, shit, damn, hell, bitch, motherfucker, dick, bullshit, pussy, and crap.
I don't understand how crap sneak this way in the back of the door. Crap does not count.
Crap don't count. You can say crap in front of your parents. Okay. I also love that this shit sounds like that D'Angelo song. Shit. Damn. Motherfucker.
Yes.
There you go. So
you know what, Shay? That's why that woman said cut the crap. So she was actually cussing. If you count that as a cuss, as a cuss
she
word.
did say it like a cuss word.
Yes. Oh, she was hot.
That was
cut the crap. We are adults, and this is ridiculous. Cut the crap. She was not happy with them out there acting a fool. So technically, she was cussing at them.
Yeah,
because she did say it with some anger in her heart. That white woman meant that.
According to some dietitians, according to a new study that some dietitians have beef with, vegans and vegetarians are more likely, twice as likely, to have depressive episodes as omnivores. Omnivores are people that eat everything, meat, all that, and
we just eat everything.
Yeah, so they did a study of 14,000 people between the ages of 35 and 74 over a 6-month period. They evaluated the participants using clinical interview schedule revised instrument, a questionnaire that helps diagnose common mental disorders like depression and anxiety. Depressive episodes are more prevalent in individuals who do not eat meat. I always knew. Just be like, why y'all so mad? Other than Mike Kaplan. But who knows? Maybe he's secretly depressed and he just don't tell us about it.
Right, because normally he's a very happy person.
They don't know what's causing the surprising relationship, but said they ruled out obvious suspects like nutritional deficiencies, socioeconomic conditions, and lifestyle factors like drinking, smoking, and different levels of physical activity. More longitudinal data are needed to clarify casual relationship, the author said.
I can see that. Might need more research, because not all, but a lot of people that are vegan and vegetarian, a lot of them live very clean lifestyles. Not that they don't smoke and drink at all, but it's
they ruled that out. They ruled that out.
It's lower compared to them.
So they know it's not that. I think it could be that they live longer. And so that means they get to see more of what the world is, and it's just depressing. It's sad.
I don't know. Is it because some of them don't season their food, so they depressed?
I don't know where the vegans don't season their food comes from. I haven't heard that one. I don't think Tabitha Brown would like to hear you talking about that after you just paid for them tickets and bought that cookbook. But sure, if that's how you feel. Not
all vegans. # not all vegans. But that raw vegan place we went to was terrible, and that shit wasn't seasoned.
Okay, all right. Is that the only vegan food you've ever had?
No, but that restaurant was terrible.
Yeah, okay. But we just gonna use that as an example of all the vegans now forever?
No, we not. Okay. We not, but it's a contingent of vegans that actually
have I cooked some vegan meals? Have I cooked some vegan meals?
Yes, but you use seasoning. But that particular place we went to, it was jumping, and it was like the #1 vegan spot in Charlotte, and that shit was not good.
All right. Well, y'all address those emails or comments directly to Karen. Leave me the fuck out of it. I didn't say that shit. I've had and enjoyed several vegan food places.
I have too.
I've only had one bad experience at the raw vegan place. Everywhere else was great. And I sometimes cook vegan meals for me and Karen, and she's never complained that I know of. So, but y'all right, eat Karen for that joke. That has nothing to do with me. Speaking of veganism, Rick Ross questions the validity of almond milk. Is they squeezing it out of the peanut?
Sir. Where else the hell does the almond milk gonna come from? They do get it from the nut. Like I don't understand this.
He was just skeptical. He
you
recently
can
discovered
make your own almond milk. I said I've seen online where you can actually make your own almond milk.
So is they squeezing it out the peanut?
Not the peanut. They squeeze it out of almond nut.
Yeah, okay. So they're squeezing out the almond nuts.
Yes.
And then juice come out. Right. People picking on Rick Ross. Nigga, I drink this shit. I don't know. I drink it and I don't know.
Yeah.
If you sat me in the fucking room with a bunch of fucking almonds and said, Rob, make some milk, I'd be like, I can make you some peanut butter. I don't know why everybody is jumping in this man's shit like he a dumbass when he just had the courage to admit he don't fucking know. And I'm with him in not knowing. I know what milk does to my body, and I'm not down for that. So it's almonds all day over here. But do I know where this come from? Nope. Never seen an almond cow.
No.
Never seen a almond farmer sit down on a bucket.
Nope.
So I don't know what the fuck the shit is coming from.
No such
and
thing.
And by the way, not curious. Didn't look it up. Don't want to know. Don't even give a fuck.
Okay, I'm about to say because
don't email me. Karen can go Google it. Don't email me. Don't tell us. I know Appia can't. She's stop typing. Stop typing. I already don't give a fuck.
She's writing right now.
Yeah. Oh, you just put the nuts at 7 degrees Celsius. I don't give a fuck.
You know she's telling us is that negative? Is you put it at -5 degrees Celsius, which is probably room temperature.
Yeah, Ross will need to be persuaded that the ground up almonds mixed with water and vitamins are genuinely healthy before he consumes them. So I guess there you go. That's it's ground up and then water and vitamins. So yep. But anyway, I drink it because I don't want to be on the toilet all night.
Oh, and I don't blame you.
Let's see. Let's talk about the airlines.
Okay.
Survey shows that 2/3 of passengers think it's rude to recline your airline seat, but they still do it anyway.
Yeah, particularly if you got long legs, I can see it being irritating for the person behind them, like the person that has the long legs behind them.
77% of travelers surveyed said they find it rude to recline airline seats fully. Of those, more than 20.
Yeah, I can see that where you stretch it all the way out like you at AMC. Yes, I can see a little bit, but not where you like reclining.
More than 27% said they would ask the passenger behind them if it was okay to lean back, while a little over 3% said they didn't care and would recline without saying anything.
Because they're like, I paid for this bitch.
The real assholes. I think if that was my stance, I think I would reconsider when I found out it was just me and 3% of people. I'll be like, yeah, maybe we are some assholes, because I thought I would have only done that if I thought everybody was doing that shit. More than 22% of passengers said they didn't think it was rude to lean back, and nearly 45% of passengers said they wouldn't recline at all. The survey also found other findings related to other controversial airplane behaviors like armrest etiquette. I do hate the armrest situation, because like if you in one of those the rows with the 3 seats, they don't give you like 2 armrests, they give you one, and it's like, whose is that?
Right.
Because especially if you're in the middle seat, it's like, do everybody get to claim this shit? Like, what is the rules? I can literally end up in a situation where I ain't got no armrest.
Yeah, you can. Well, you just have to put your arms between your sides. That's why I don't like to sit in the middle.
Conventional practice has been to give the middle seat passenger both middle armrests. But more than 63% of people said they either follow the rule of thumb or abide by it sometimes. The survey also questioned the overhead bin space and found that more than 57% of surveyed passengers said they would at least consider storing their luggage many rows in front of their seat, while 15.6% said they always do this. A little more than 16% said they would do it only if they board late, and more than 25% said they would do it only if it was a full flight. Yeah, I always just store it right over me, but I also I also have not been on a flight that was like so full that there was no place for my luggage.
Right.
The issue of comfort was also surveyed. 63% of travelers questioned said they would never take their shoes off during a flight.
Take their shoes off.
Right. But younger Americans, 18 to 29, said they are much more likely to remove their shoes, with over 45% saying they've done it. Wow.
Well, you talking about flip-flops, sandals?
Shoes, Karen. Every type of shoe.
So you taking off your socks too?
They didn't say socks, so I don't have that information, Karen. So what else you want to ask? Do they toe rings? I don't know. Toe rings on in the They didn't say what kind of manicures the people have. I have no further information than what I provided you.
Thank you. Hopefully your feet don't stink.
Wow. What a world. Hopping on the plane right now. American Airlines is doing away with first class cabins on international flights. And why are they doing that?
Yeah, why?
Nobody was buying them.
They probably too expensive.
Yeah, I bet. Because like even a first class domestic ticket be a grip. A first class like international probably be a lot. I don't know for a fact, you know, because I've never been first class international in my lifetime. But yeah, if nobody's buying them.
Yeah, and like you said, you got all this space and nobody buying. Like, and when you talk about international, you're already talking about a height and a higher price point anyway. So for a lot of people, unless it's over a certain amount of hours, a lot of people aren't going to pay for that luxury. Like if it's over a certain amount of hours, I could see and it's not going to be a lot. A handful of people saying, yeah, I want to be able to stretch out. If I'm going to be on this bitch for 16 hours or 12, a whole day, I want to be able to move around. But same thing, it's going to be a handful of people. Most people going to pay the cheaper prices and just be in the back, toughing it out.
Also, people are buying the business class seats. So they're not taking out first class and then just moving up regular people to what they're going to do is put in more business class.
Yeah, so you can sell more. Because if that's what's selling, that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
it must be a huge price jump between the business and that first class for people to go, yeah. And whatever you're charging for the first class, people don't think it's worth it. So whatever, what you call it, amenities that you have, people don't think it's worth the cost.
Yeah. Odessa, Texas. A local pharmacy took to Facebook this week in a tongue-in-cheek response after a teen reportedly swiped a Lil Nitro, the world's hottest gummy bear, from its shelves.
Lil Nitro?
Yeah, Lil Nitro. L-I-L Nitro.
That sounds like a rapper.
Don't it? Sunflower Prescription or RX in downtown Odessa said it didn't press charges on the teen because they were like, he learned his lesson when he fucked with that gummy. According to a Facebook post, the pharmacy said the teen and his friend visited the store and quickly left. The teen, later identified as a 16-year-old, reportedly ran back into the store in a sweat. Sunflower RX said the boy grabbed a cold tea from the refrigerator in the snack cave and threw himself to the floor. Employees asked the teen if he was okay and asked if they should call an ambulance. He then reportedly rolled over, lifted his shirt and pointed to his stomach and replied, "Please don't. I'm okay. I just ate something really spicy." They then asked if he wanted them to call the parents, and he said no. The teen then asked for a trash can because he was worried he's going to vomit. That's when another girl came in to check on the boy. She offered to pay for the tea and then escorted the teen outside. According to the pharmacy, he heaved repeatedly on the sidewalk. Following that, the girl returned to the store, which has a great selection of gifts and snacks at the counter, and purchased a Powerade for the kid. Damn. She told employees he was okay. He just eating something really spicy on an empty stomach. After the teens left, the employees noticed that Lil Nitro, the world's hottest gummy bear, was missing from the shelf.
He thought that shit was funny. Lil Nitro tore his little ass up.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the packaging for Lil Nitro.
Do it got X and skulls on it? Is it a gummy bear with flames in his eyes? Oh shit! Why is you touching something with flames?
It reminded me of when I got those fucking spicy ramen noodles. And I just ignored all the signs on the packaging. There was like a bird with flames coming out of his eyes and his mouth.
Oh,
and
no.
Screaming in pain. And I was like, "Oh, this looks delicious." And then when I ate it, I was like, "This is the hottest shit I ever had in my life." Delicious, hottest shit I ever had in my life.
Why? Why is you fucking with Lil Nitro? I mean, the bitch got Nitro in his name.
Right.
I don't understand this.
I mean, and if that's not enough, the world's hottest gummy bear is on the front and the back.
And it has a sign that says warning.
Right. This shit look like a motherfucking juvenile album cover.
For the 99 in the 2000s.
Yeah, it says, consumer beware, this is not your ordinary gummy bear. From Flamethrower Candy Company comes the next experience for those who seek the heat. Lil Nitro has been infused with our signature 9 million Scoville unit chili extract, making them 900 times hotter than a jalapeno pepper. That's not that's not enough for you to be like, I shouldn't fuck with this then. Like, how, bro? And then it says, do you dare this fiery gummy bear?
No.
And then it's got a flammable sign that looks like
warning.
Anybody that's ever seen the side of a truck that hauls dangerous chemicals.
Yes.
It's that like off center square where it's, you know, instead of it looking like a flat square, it looks like two triangles and shit. Like, hell no, I wouldn't deal. What?
That shit look like hazardous.
Play too much. And I don't even know exactly how hot 1 Scoville is, but anything that's 9 million something units hot is too hot.
Mm-mm.
How's this legal?
Fuck them up. Talking about they gonna be all right.
Beyonce stands slam Kelis for her hair video, but getting mad for what? Oh, let me just explain this. Okay.
Yes, please. What's happening? I don't understand.
So Kelis on her Instagram has a video that she posted with some Asian women playing with her hair.
Okay.
But Beyonce people been mad at her because she was upset that Beyonce sampled, like, you couldn't even fucking tell, but part of milkshake or something.
Yeah, Beyonce ended up taking it out.
And she took it out. And so and Kelis has like said a few shady things over the years about Beyonce, more than a few times, you know, and never, not anything like overtly like fucked up, but just, to me, it's obvious she don't fuck with Beyonce for some reason,
right,
that we don't know and probably will never know,
right,
and that's fine. It just happens.
Yeah.
But
everybody be friends.
Ever since she said that shit about, you know, the sample,
yeah, people probably been on her ass.
Beyonce fans have been like camping out in her mentions, waiting for a moment like this. And so this is her appearing like maybe in another country or something. I don't know. But she posted, I don't even know what to say here. Happy Freedom Friday, fam. New gold mine boxes dropping today. Turn notifications on. These go fast. Bounty in full. So I think maybe she does like beauty brand stuff now. Okay. So maybe she's saying my hair was looking so good. These Asian women, well, fuck, I don't know. I don't know what the messaging was, but this is the video. Oh, I just realized, did I ever hit the button that y'all can hear this? Can y'all hear this in the chat?
I don't know. I wish they would fix that shit.
I'll play it.
Just embrace it. Oh, I like to be touched.
Right.
So yeah, she's in another country. You can see from the writing on the signs and stuff, and these Asian women are touching it, playing in her hair. And so of course, people that have been mad about the Beyonce shit took this as a sign of, I'm about to talk this shit. I wish Kelis would have yelled at them Asian women like she yelled at Beyonce.
They don't have time for you. They was like, was like, you yell at her for nothing. Yell at them.
Right. So yeah, it's just you know, they just mad because she called Beyonce sampling disrespect and all this shit, and
yeah, even though she went
act like she
right
demanded
channels.
a phone call and all
right,
this weird stuff
and what's
that
so
you don't do.
Right, and what's so funny, and maybe this is just me on the outside looking in, a lot of these things be industry standards, and all of a sudden y'all are like Beyonce supposed to go around whatever the fucking industry standard is.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people will come out and she was like, no, here's the facts, here's the paperwork, I did everything legally I was supposed to do. What is the problem here? You got paid. Like, I don't understand this vitriol.
As somebody with
it's just me.
As somebody with a little bit of experience, let me just say this: some motherfuckers just don't like you,
right?
And it's nothing you've done or can do about it. And it seemed like Kelis don't like Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it that way, it makes a lot more sense.
Yes,
you know, like part of her brand rebranding has been like, you know, beauty and philosophy and tranquility and all this shit. But that anytime Beyonce shit come up is it's a anger and animosity there that don't really fit with the brand, and it's like she just probably don't like her for some reason.
Yep.
And there's never gonna be a way she can explain that shit that's gonna make us go, oh,
right.
You know, like it is what it is. Too bad, you know. But yeah, but the thing is, people don't like her because she don't like Beyonce.
Right.
So now you got people waiting for shit that's not even related, like this hair video, and saying Kelis weird as fuck for sitting there letting them pet her like an animal. Couldn't be me. Miss me with that. We're not allowed to respond certain ways, etc., etc. Bullshit. It's forever fuck around and find out when you touch me without my consent, which is always said by a person that ain't in the situation. I'd never bang on black people for whatever you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you want to punch a motherfucker, fine. But if you choose not to, fine too.
Right.
Like maybe she just enjoyed her vacation and ain't feel like, you know, getting an international incident so that DJ or DXC on Twitter would be like, yeah, Kelis kept it real. You know what I mean? Like, what is that gonna get me?
Right.
But yeah, it's just a bunch of people saying, you know, she had all that energy for Beyonce, but look at her now. So, blackness is beautiful. You love to see it. All right, last story. We get into a different segment. City Hall aide in New York City got fired after being caught on camera on video calling New York City Mayor Adams corrupt and mocking the cops. Now, this is an operation by Project Veritas, who y'all may remember from like the Acorn shit. They also they made up false rape accusations against a politician to try to prove somehow that the media and the Me Too movement was all bullshit. But then because they actually could not verify these stories and stuff, and none of it could be vetted, and because they were lying and making it up, it really proved that the Me Too stories were more than likely true, because apparently, you know, these media companies were going out and verifying sources and times and who did you talk to, and it was extremely hard to make something up.
Right.
Anyway, so they somehow got this staffer who isn't like a big time position or nothing, Christopher Ball. They got him talking in like a bar, and he just started shitting on like the mayor and the police and saying things I wholeheartedly agree with. He said the mayor thinks he's got like ambition for running for president. I'm like, this is it for you. Like you can't. No, you can't. You are very corrupt and lots of other issues, he said in the video. He is then heard adding, he is worth $2.5 million and he has rental properties, and like all he's ever done is be a cop and a civil servant, basically saying like how you get that money then. And I don't think it serves anybody that they did fire this person, because then it's kind of like, well, maybe was the truth too strong? Why y'all fire him?
Right.
But yeah, also he said, this is the part that I really fucked with. He talked about the police. He talked about the fact that they didn't get vaccinated and some of them got fired. They chose not to do a very, very harmless thing that protects the rest of society. Fuck them. I don't give a shit. They are like, this is unfair. Fucking deal with it. Being a cop is like the cushiest gig in the city. Like you might get shot, but otherwise it's very good. The last sentence was very matter of fact, but I was picking up what he's putting down. So yeah, and then of course you have to be careful with Project Veritas, because even in the Acorn shit, they like took shit out of context, moved things around.
They took an organization, not that it was perfect, but they took an organization that was out here doing a lot of good in the community and literally tore it down. And the second that organization went away, a lot of the black and the brown organizations and shit like that failed. Now all of a sudden you don't have this ground root thing. And not trying funny, some of the situations we are in now is because Acorn is not there. I'll just aside, like people that know about it and know about the history and all that shit. Yeah, they tore something. That's was the purpose, was to tear the infrastructure down that was helping educate people and helping people, you know how shit works and informing people. They did a lot of outreach and voter registration and things like that. And they was like, we can't have this, because as long as this shit around, they gonna keep the blacks and browns out here voting us out of office. And the thing is, they can't win legally, so a lot of times they do shit like this.
Yep, 100%. So, all right, let's get into another segment. Let's do some fucking with them black peoples.
We're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them black people. We're just fucking with them blacks. We're just fucking with black people. Do I? All right, let's talk about fuck with black people. That's where we go around the globe, find different articles, make us feel fuck with as black people, and we score them from 0 to 100. Intervals of 25. Up first, white teens spotted at Six Flags in blackface, accused of airdropping racist memes.
Airdropping?
Yeah, to your iPhone.
Yeah, I had to turn that shit off. Now I think it's automatically turned off. But before, and people that don't know, you get it, and all of a sudden you're like, the fuck is this?
Really horrible viral advertising for Rick and Morty with the sweater. I'm sure they don't want any part of this.
No, they don't.
But social media has exposed a group of white teens who allegedly showed up to Fright Fest at Six Flags wearing blackface and racially harassing park visitors. Per Revolt TV, the teens were accused of airdropping racist memes and slurs to troll whoever was in the immediate area.
So if your shit was open up for everybody, they would just bing, ding, 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 ding.
I'm a little surprised, honestly, that Revolt TV was so offended and didn't just get them on Drink Champs. A TikTok video posted by user Asia shows a group of white teens walking up to the line of a ride with black paint smeared on their faces. It's unspecified which Six Flags location they were in, but commenters suspect this the Six Flags Americas in Gurnee, Illinois. In the video, one of the teens appears to ask a black person waiting in line if he likes his face paint. What are you supposed to be? The teen then explains he was trying to paint something else but messed up. Yeah, Mr. Hanky, I guess. Asia also claims in TikTok that the teens airdropped a meme from the name Jigaboo Jones. The image was a screenshot with a picture of a black boy holding a toy message with the message, "Buy me one." And the response said, "No, black people can't be sold anymore." People in the comments identified the ringleader as Isaac Hanley. Whoever it was, Yahoo reported his social media accounts have been deleted. Oh, wonder why. Guess it wasn't that funny after all when Black Twitter CSI got on the motherfucking job. Some people in TikTok comments tried to run to the team's defense, claiming they didn't mean to be offensive.
Don't want to hear it.
What? What is the other? What could they? What?
Not in a situation like this.
What? In what way could they mean it to not be offensive? That's all it's blackface. And then you sent racist memes to people. How could it not be? You walked up to a black person and made a joke about having blackface. It's only offensive. Like, even if you think it's funny, it's funny because it's offensive.
Right.
Bitch, get out of my face.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, because nobody's racist, but he ain't called niggers. But why does the extreme have to be nigger before everything else is all right? But that right there is, and even that, some people don't even consider racist.
Yeah, that's crazy. Though others said they experienced the same thing, airdrop and all. When they previously visited the theme park. At that moment, it's unclear whether these teens are connected to the meme. If they were adults, I wouldn't hold it past them to make old racist jokes. However, the instance of young white kids making a mockery of slavery post-racism seems to be more frequent, spitting the N-word at black people, slave. So then they editorializing. Yeah, 0 to 100.
Oh, this gets a 100. Yeah, they're of age that they know what they're doing. They thought it was a joke and it backfired. Like, not trying to funny. This is a lot of shit that white people do. They think they think jokes like this are funny, and they learned this from somewhere, and they think that it's funny, and they think that it's hilarious because it's probably shit they do around each other all of the time, and then took that shit on the road and realized when they took it on the road, it didn't go so well.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I give it 100. You can't even go to the fucking. The people just want to go get on a ride, dog.
That's it. They don't
like. Ain't nobody bothering nobody. Like, just let me hop on this ride, have some fun with my kids and shit. And some white kids somewhere, some group of white kids show up like, how can we make this worse?
Mm-hmm.
Just, oh my God.
That's stupid.
So, and it like, they lucky they didn't get their ass beat. They lucky people just wanted to go tell social media about it, because it could have been way worse.
Yes, sir.
Man 25 is charged with racist attack on Earth winning 5-star Morris Mo pleasure at the nightclub in Wales.
Overseas? What's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
All they want to do is sing.
Right. The American-born musician was attacked at the Peer Pressure nightclub in Aberystwyth on April 3rd after passing a man at 2 a.m. Mr. Pleasure, 60, who also played with Michael Jackson and the Average White Band, was slapped on the head and suffered racial insults while going into the club. The attack was captured on CCTV.
Yeah, they film everything now.
Yeah, CCTV, man. I'm gonna tell you, CCTV, they get all the scoops.
All of them.
Okay,
you got to worry about TMZ. CCTV is the first.
I don't know what channel they come on.
I don't know where they stream, but bitches, they be on it.
Listen, every article we read, it'd be like, if CCTV was there, they knew. I know, guys, it's just a joke. I know it's not a news station. Don't write in. It's just a joke, everybody. Sometimes we have fun on here. But yeah, Heffin Parker, 25, was since been charged with racially aggravated common assault and assault by beating of Mr. Pleasure. He is due to appear before town magistrates on Wednesday. Mr. Pleasure moved to the seaside town of Aberystwyth, Wales, more than 2 years ago with his wife, who grew up there. He was out with the two sisters of his wife on the Royal Pier at the Peer Pressure Club when he was attacked. Man, how racist you gotta be to be attacking black? It's probably not even that many black people over there. Like, was that premeditated? Like, how'd you even know you was gonna find a black that day? Well, you just like, oh man, of all the luck, wow, what a day for me. It's
what
a cool
lucky day.
I was strolling down the street just hoping to find some black people to be attacking, and I was about to give up. I do this every day. It's just not very fruitful, but thank God that day he was at the club. Well, I know he's never gonna forget, because he's an Earth, Wind, and Fire. And you know what they say? Do you remember?
Do you?
And he does remember. Okay. Karen, got 0 to 100.
Oh yeah, this gets 100, and that man has enough money that when you go to court, I would show up. I would make the flight. I would schedule, and
well, he lived there.
Oh, he lives there.
He moved there 2 years ago with his wife.
Okay, he lives there. But then yes, I definitely would show up in court.
Yep.
Every day.
Yeah, yeah, that's terrible, man. Especially like you want to go overseas and get away from this bullshit in America, and then motherfuckers attacking you for being black. Like, it didn't sound like there was an altercation. Just he was black, being black into being all black up in my face.
Yeah, America might be superior at it, but it don't mean other places in the world don't have the same problems.
Yeah, that's 100 for me. Last one, Candace Owens threatens George Floyd's family. I think I have the grounds to sue. She is threatening to sue the family of George Floyd as she aims to defend her friend Kanye West According to Mediaite, Owens ranted on her recent podcast and bashed Floyd's family, who planned to file a $250 million lawsuit against West after the rapper claimed Floyd's death was caused by a drug overdose instead of police brutality.
Do she want a lawsuit too? They's like, well, right now we're just suing him.
Honestly, you know what? I think she does want to be named in the lawsuit for publicity. I really wouldn't put it past her.
Okay.
I think if you look at the way the conservative people are treating Kanye West, they're basically saying we want to siphon as much attention off of Kanye West as we can. So we know that he's a loose cannon. We know that he's, the fact that Tucker Carlson aired that interview and we find out he cut out the anti-Semitic parts, that tells you a lot about how they view Kanye, as they're just using him. They know he's mentally ill and they're using him for the content.
Right.
Same thing for Nori and them, by the way. I'm very I'm a bit disappointed as a platform, and I understand Drink Champs is not journalism, but I get what people are saying.
Right.
I'm a bit disappointed in Nori and them, man. I think Nori and them should have known better, and I think his comments afterwards were so much about just clout chasing that it is very desperate for a guy that is doing well. Platform is doing well.
Doing fine.
They're getting good guests. They're it just seemed like, and what more importantly than just the clout chasing, it showed us how callous he was about Kanye's mental health. Like, he's like, look at this guy be crazy on my show for 3 hours. Isn't that fun for all of us? And at the same time saying that's a friend and you don't want to lose the relationship of having him come on your show. And you're like, I don't think that's your friend at all. That doesn't sound like how you talk about a friend.
Yeah, right. Your definition of friendship is completely different than mine.
And of course, Candace Owens, that, calling Kanye a friend, it's very convenient. That's a friend when y'all can make some money off of it.
Right.
But yeah, she says, I'm also sick of frivolous lawsuits. If this is actually considered credible, if you can sue somebody because you're feeling emotionally distressed because of them going out and saying things, well, then I think that I had the grounds to sue George Floyd's estate, who I don't even know if they've said anything about it. I have the grounds, and that's also funny, right? Because that's the grievance politics of the right. I think I'm tired of people and they're banning the freedom of speech. That's why I'm starting my own platform and banning every liberal who has something to say. You're like, well, doesn't that violate what you said? Or in this case, I'm tired of frivolous lawsuits. Here's a frivolous lawsuit. Anyway, I have grounds to sue George Floyd's family for doing this little PR stunt. It's causing me tons of distress. I feel angry and I feel upset with the fact that I'm fighting for Black America to be free from the lies while these people are fighting to keep them in the dark.
You don't get out of here.
Right.
Your dry edges.
In fact, we should be able to sue Black Lives Matter. We should be able to sue the media that is clearly colluding with George Floyd's family so they can bury the evidence. Nobody is going to shut up, and I will fight tooth and nail for people to see the truth. Yeah, another thing I find sad about this shit with her, and I remember when it was brought to light that the NAACP helped her sue for racial discrimination when she was like younger. Like, so frivolous lawsuits and shit, it's such a grift mentality. And it's so sad and infuriating, Anyway, 0 to 100.
Oh, she gets a permanent Jakarta anytime. I have certain people anytime their name comes up. It don't matter what it is, right, wrong, or indifference. Just for the fact that they're in the middle of it, it's gonna be some foolishness.
Yeah, it's just sad, and it's so wild how fame is, because I think there are other people who have mental health issues. There are other people who are anti-Black and anti-Semitic and stuff. But once you combine that fame that Kanye West achieved, the amount of people willing to exploit that's sad. Because, like, I don't, like, the one hope you have with a lot of people, if you've ever dealt with someone going through like a mental health psychosis thing, is like, at some point, something may happen that causes their brain to go, wait a minute, I'm picking up that I'm not making sense. Or the people around me are having such a reaction that my brain is now registering that I'm acting abnormally. But what if you're so famous and people are so fucking devoid of any conscience that they'll go, yes, you are right, Kanye. And did you know about this conspiracy theory as well?
Yeah.
Buy my husband's company that's not making money, his social media company, Parlor, buy that from him and then show the black people. You're saving black people right now with the things you're saying. That I don't know how a person ever wakes up from that.
Right, because their bottom is different. Like for a lot of people, their bottom is I'm out of money, I don't have a support system.
Right.
But when you have money, you have the means for these support systems. You're just opting not to use them.
Right. So all right, let's get into some Guess the Race. All right. Feel like we're having a good time.
We have.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
That's right. Guess the race time. You know what we do. We get them articles. Guess the race of people involved. Karen plays. She races. The chat room plays. They races. Florida man charged with a razor attack. Matthew Leatham, who has a tattoo of the Florida on his forehead.
The state?
Yes. No, Florida Evans, Karen. Florida State, yes, correct. Is facing felony battery charge after allegedly slicing up a friend with a razor. Not a friend. Not razor ratchetness. A witness told cops that Leatham, 24, and the male victim engaged in a physical altercation after a verbal dispute over a cell phone last month. It was outside of a convenience store. Leatham used a razor to cut him on his neck and leg. The surveillance camera recorded Leatham chasing the victim, who was seen holding a shirt on his neck to stop the bleeding from a slice wound. The victim sustained several lacerations to his person, which noted the man was transported to a hospital where the injury to his neck required staples.
Ooh.
Yeah, staples, Karen. And I'm not talking about the office supply store. I'm talking about the kind that come out of a stapler and go into your neck. Ugh. In a police interview, Leatham reportedly copped to removing a razor blade from his pocket and cutting the victim, but he claimed he was acting in self-defense, although he had no injuries. He was charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, a felony, and booked into the Pasco County Jail. He was later released on $10,000 bond. A judge had ordered him to have no contact with the victim and has barred him from possessing any weapons. So Karen, guess the race.
Black.
Karen's going black. Let's check the chat room and see what they believe Mr. Matthew Leatham's race is. Florida nigga black. At least he ain't try to put an infinity stone on his forehead. Black. Old school black man, level activated. Black. White and how hard the shit. Trying to kill him. White. White sounds like low vibrational niggertry. The correct answer is white. You missed it, Karen. And now the audio won't play. Son of a, what is going on? Blue, you missed it. What do you? No, it's not no clapping.
No, I'm clapping for the people, and then I was gonna do the boo behind it. Let me be the right soundboard. Yay! All right, for those that missed it, boo.
Guys, that's not how the soundboard works. Karen is going AWOL right now, and my soundboard is failing me. But the way the sound goes, there we go. Why'd that take so long? Anyway, the way the sound works is it goes by what Karen guesses, and then we go to the other one.
Oh, I was doing it backwards.
So you
my
get
bad.
you get booed. And the people that said white, y'all get applause.
Oh, you got the right tattoo because you are a dick. Oh my God. This tattoo, y'all. Oh my God.
Yes.
Like it is literally the state. Like I know you said it, but it's different between that and you literally just seeing it. It's across his forehead. Who was the tattoo artist that had to do that shit? Was like, are you sure?
His tattoo definitely says, I slice my friends up with razor blades. You know? Like you look at that, you go, like when I see that face, I don't go, I want to be his friend because he's a good friend. I go, that guy probably slices up his friends with razor blades.
Yes.
Like I shouldn't be his friend. All right, let's go to the next one. 2 college wrestlers injured in grizzly bear attack.
Oh.
2 college wrestlers suffered a serious injuries in a grizzly bear attack while hunting for shed antlers with teammates. This happened in South Fork outside Cody, Wyoming. Kendall Cummings of Evanston and Brady Lowry of Cedar City, Utah, both sophomores at Northwest College in Powell, Wyoming, were with 2 other members of the wrestling team when they became separated as they hiked down a mountain. A grizzly bear came out of nowhere. Did it come out of nowhere, or did y'all come out of nowhere to the grizzly bear?
Right, grizzly bear mounted his. He was like, and who was that?
So the grizzly bear came out of nowhere, began to attack. That's like if you come in my house and I'm just coming out of the kitchen, you be like, he came out of nowhere. It's like, no, you in my apartment, get the fuck out.
Right.
And when Cummins rushed in to try to, so it came out of nowhere, began attacking Lowry. Cummins came in and said, I'm gonna pull the bear off of Lowry. So then the grizzly bear said, no, you not.
Grizzly bear said, who else want to fuck with Hollywood Colt? You want some of these hands too?
Right.
It's a fucking grizzly bear.
It's a fucking correct. It is a fucking grizzly bear. And when he came over there, said,
you need to shut the fuck up when grown folks is talking.
And he got some too.
Right. Grizzly bears can be hundreds of pounds.
Mm-hmm. And they stronger than us.
Right.
Yeah.
And can
Sit your dumb ass down.
And can run faster than most human beings. I think maybe all of us, but top speed could outrun my black ass.
Okay, that went from a very confident claim to a very unconfident
claim, because I was saying, am I doing facts? I know it can run faster than me. I put me on it.
You know what, Karen? They can run faster than human beings.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So wouldn't matter if you're Usain Bolt.
Okay. Well then no, you don't go fuck with something that's bigger, stronger, taller, got claws, and then it's like, oh, let me go help my homie. Unless you got a gun.
So then I don't know where all 4 came from, but all 4 possessed bear spray, but the attack happened so quickly, the 2 victims had no time to react.
They're alive. They're 2 just standing by?
I guess the other 2 weren't there to see it. They're alive and doing well for what happened, said the athletic director. We're praying for these kids and their family and the rest of the team and their coach. Northwest president Lisa Watson stated in a release that the victims were helped to their vehicles by the other teammates and help was summoned. Cowboy State Daily reported that multiple people on the social media said Park County Search and Rescue and other emergency staff have responded to the incident. Cummings was immediately flighted to St. Vincent, so he had to get that helicopter. And the other one was taken to Region Health by ambulance a few hours later. And he ended up being life flighted as well. They have both undergone multiple surgeries.
Small town. They was like, we can't handle this. You got to go to the big city.
I tell you one thing, man. That's a teammate right there. I see my teammate getting mauled by a bear. That's between y'all. My name is Paul, and that's between y'all. I don't know what you did to that bear.
What, they camping? How the fuck did they get around the bear?
They were out antler hunting.
What is looking for another animal? Deer? I'm assuming antlers are with deer.
This is Karen. This is stuff I don't know anything about. They were looking for shed antlers. Okay.
Walked in on the bear.
The bear walked in on them or something. I don't know, but the bear said, "Nah, that's not happening up in here."
Antler hunting is over, guys.
All right, Karen, guess the race.
Oh, everything about this sound white.
Everything about this sound white. Let's check the chat room and see what they believe. Yogi told y'all about fucking with his picnic baskets. White. The idol was Zangief. White and reckless. They loved them was white. Shed antlers is a thing. Okay. Antler hunting equals white, just white, so white it's almost invisible. I've hiked and seen bears not too far outside the cities. We probably left the area. Okay, shout out to Yolanda. White, the correct answer is white.
Yeah, antler hunting. I've never heard any niggas be like, you know what I'm doing this weekend? Antler hunting.
Oh, it definitely sounds white. Everything. Only nigga I heard talk about fighting a bear was Mystical, and he turned out to be a rapist. So I don't know. I don't think that's for us.
No.
All right, let's get into the bonus round.
What time is it?
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
All right, bonus round, guess the race time. Third story, Karen's 1-1. The Ohio Supreme Court this week indefinitely and immediately suspended a Cleveland municipal judge who disciplinary authorities said had conducted business like a game show host. The judge's conduct included offering bizarre deals to defendants when prosecutors were not present on dates that coincided with her birthday, their birthdays, and the birthday of friends or holidays. What?
What they be like? Come on down. This contestant was caught with speeding. They was actually with 25 miles over the speed limit. We're gonna see if it can be reduced to 25. Picking up on the board. The fuck is this?
Pinky Suzanne Carr, that's her name. Pinky Suzanne Carr had been a Cleveland Municipal Court judge since January 2012. According to the high stakes court unsigned per curiam opinion. Prior to that, she was an assistant at the Cuyahoga County prosecutor. On multiple occasions, she joked that she would be amenable to some form of bribe in return for a lenient sentence. In open court, she engaged in dialogues with defendants about accepting kickbacks on fines and arranging hookups for herself and her staff for food and beverages, flooring, and storage facilities.
Wow.
In March 2021, disciplinary authorities accused her of 5 counts of misconduct involving more than 100 stipulated incidents, spanning a 2-year time frame. The state Supreme Court opinion indicates they broadly involve these categories: 1, issuing capias, warrants, and making false statements; 2, engaging in ex parte communications and improper plea bargaining and rendering arbitrary dispositions; 3, using capias, warrants, and bonds to improperly compel payment of fines and court costs; 4, exhibiting a lack of decorum and dignity in the judicial office; and 5, abusing contempt power and failing to recuse herself from contempt proceedings in which she had a conflict. Those accusations are much more verbose than the short list suggests. The parties entered into 583 stipulations of fact and misconduct that spanned 126 pages and submitted more than 350 stipulated exhibits.
Wow.
Professional conduct panel determined Carr ruled her courtroom in a reckless and cavalier manner, unconstrained by the law or the court rules, without any measure of probity or even common courtesy. They also determined she conducted business in a manner befitting a game show host rather than a judge of the Cleveland Municipal Court. Maybe it was like Steve Harvey's courtroom.
Maybe, yeah. I like that show.
Mm-hmm. They recommended a 2-year suspension for the practice of law and certain conditions on her reinstatement. However, she said the board applied wrong legal standard and failed to accord proper mitigating effect to her mental health disorders. She further disputed the board's suggested punishment. She said 18 months of the contemplated 2-year sentence should be conditionally stayed or set aside. So then the Supreme Court issued the suspension again. But I believe she kept going. She started flaunting COVID-19 orders. In March 2020, Judge Michelle Early, the judge in charge of the municipal court system, suspended courthouse activity because of COVID-19. Despite Early's order, Pinky Carr did not reschedule cases set on her docket. So she was just like, nah, What pandemic? I don't agree. Rather, despite the courthouse being basically closed, Carr issued copious warrants for the defendants who did not appear in court. Those warrants ordered arrest and set bonds at $2,500 and $10,000.
But it's a fucking pandemic.
In contrast, she waived fines and court costs for defendants who were brave enough to appear in court despite the potential exposure of COVID-19. So if you said, hey, y'all suspended this, I'm not supposed to go here, it's a pandemic, we didn't even have a vaccine yet, I'm not showing up, she was like, issue a warrant for their arrest and a fine. If you showed up, she was like, yeah, so no court costs, no fine, you good. When a public defender began to question the fundamental fairness of ordering defendants to appear where the courthouse was listed as officially closed, Carr told the public defender that not everyone watches the news and that defendants should indeed appear in spite of early COVID-19 order. When the public defender left the courtroom, Carr turned to her staff and mocked him, calling him a little idiot. Later, Carr learned that Matthew Woima, the person responsible for scheduling court cases, had cleared several civil matters from the docket because of Early's order. Carr, in open court, told her bailiff that Woima, W-O-Y-M-A, I don't know how you pronounce this, I think it's Woima. She said for him to get his ass back on the phone and put all her civil cases back on.
So they're doing what they're supposed to do, which is clear these so you can fucking reschedule them and you like put them back on the schedule.
Yep. Yeah, according to the newspaper report, she refused to comment because they wrote about how she was trying to keep her court open in the pandemic in the newspaper. She didn't comment. She did grant an interview to a local television station. Therein, according to the High Court, she called the newspaper report untrue and reckless. And you are not, to be clear, you are not issuing any warrants. A television reporter asked, according to the Supreme Court retelling of the interview broadcast. She said absolutely not. However, that statement was untrue. In other words,
right, because they can see if you issued a warrant, right. Like this is paperwork, and somebody had to go execute this and go get these. And if I was somebody that was arrested, it's gonna be a motherfucking problem.
Yep. Carr had an apparent track record of offering plea deals to defendant without prosecutors present. Yeah, that is wild. She admitted she routinely conducted hearings without a prosecutor being present so that she could avoid complying with the requisite procedural safeguards. Among other things of the nature of the charge, the identity of the complainant, the right to counsel, and the effect of a plea of guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Yeah, she also unilaterally recommended pleas to unrepresented defendants when no prosecutor was present and accepted the pleas without explanation or discussion of the consequences of entering the plea.
So people didn't know what they were signing?
I guess not.
There's no way you can know what you're signing.
She unilaterally amended the charges against the defendant and falsely attributed those amendments to the prosecutors in her judgment entries.
Even though they wasn't there?
I wonder if this is because they weren't showing up because of COVID-19.
Right.
And this sounded like she just was like, we gonna do court anyway. I don't give a fuck who's here. Show up. I don't give a fuck what the pandemic is doing.
Like, we can't do this.
Like, I'm not working from home.
Yeah, she was one of them. I'm not working from, and she admit that shit. She was like, I refuse to work from home.
Even when she found defendants guilty, she arbitrarily waived fines and costs without any inquiry into the defendant's ability to pay. She then falsified her journal entries to conceal her actions. In fact, she frequently stated that she was waiving the fines and costs based on the defendant's birth date or its proximity to the date of the hearing, a holiday, her own birthday, or the birthdays of her family and friends. Even when the prosecutor was present in the courtroom, Carr's entries in at least 24 of the 34 cases identified in count 2 falsely stated that she had conducted ability to pay hearings and had determined that the defendants were unable to pay the fines and the costs. This is some wild shit. Yeah, wow. Her attire also raised concerns.
Oh shit! What was she walking in there in a cat suit?
She would wear workout attire, including tank tops and t-shirts, some bearing images and slogans above the knee, spandex shorts and sneakers.
She would wear her robe.
Carr was aware that the public took notice of her unconventional appearance. She once told a defendant counsel, your client was scared to come in. Officer Gray said, he asked, well, where's the judge? And she was like, she's in there. And he was like, the one in the t-shirt. And he said, I'm calling my lawyer. This couldn't be. He said, this can't be real. She then explained to counsel, I dressed up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's not happening today. And tomorrow is a national holiday, Juneteenth. I'm not doing it, okay? The board found the Carr reveled in her lack of decorum, telling one defendant who apologized for his own attire, you see how I'm dressed? I have on my Cavs t-shirt. After another defendant expressed surprise that he had been found not guilty, she responded, you can trust me. I know I'm not dressed like a judge, but I'm really the judge. During a series of proceedings in open court, Carr maintained a dialogue with her staff and defendants about the television series P-Valley, which is set in the Mississippi strip club.
What?
She also allegedly referred to one of the bailiffs, Alicia Gray, by the name of a character from the series, Miss Puddin'. The high court indicated that Carr's cavalier attitude appeared to be one-sided at times. Although Carr frequently behaved as though the rules of the courtroom did not apply to her, she did not hesitate to correct defendants for seemingly minor infractions. The video evidence showed that she repeatedly admonished defendants for standing with their hands crossed or in their pockets instead of at their sides, and screamed at them when they indicated that they had not heard what she said. She also resented being called ma'am and berating defendants who attempted to show their respect for her by using that honorific. When male defendants referred to her as ma'am, she would chastise them and call them little boy. Using the defendant's initials, she got the high court some hookups. EW appeared in court July 22nd, 2020, to request that she grant him driving privileges in his 2018 case for driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol. After being informed that he worked for an automotive company, she told her staff, I got us another hookup. We could get our cars fixed here. And she stated she had already gotten them some flooring and carpet. She told EW told her to bring their cars in and the company would love to take care of them. Carr replied, always getting us the hookups. Don't worry, we don't have to pay. It's on him. Reinstating his privileges was subject to a $50 fee, mandatory. But when she indicated to Carr that he did not have the money to pay the fee, well, who's going to pay his $50? Puddin' gets paid today. So does Mike. They both got 50. After all, you hooking us up. Maybe they will pay you $50. $50 fee waived. All right, you're all set. On the journal, she wrote, no bitching necessary.
What? On the official document that's going to go to the state. Some shit that somebody got to read. It was like, the fuck is this?
No bitching necessary. A judge. She then passed a journal entry to a bailiff and told him, show that judgment entry to Miss Puddin'. As Gray read the entry, Carr broke out laughing while her bailiff called the next case. And she said that the reason that she can't, that she needs to not be punished is because she said she has some mental disorders. Her cited disorders, generalized anxiety, and a mood disorder connected to sleep apnea, stress, and menopause.
That does not excuse your behavior. No, ma'am.
How does sleep apnea and menopause contribute to lying? One justice asked during oral arguments about the case. Carr's attorney said the issues affected Carr's mood and ability to think clearly. The court disagreed.
Right.
And so she was challenging a 2-year suspension and she wanted it down to like 6 months. So they returned a decision of indefinite suspension. Now she can't come back.
She should just shut the fuck up and take that punishment.
So there you go, Karen. No bitching necessary. Guess the race of this judge.
If this judge is not black, I will be shocked.
Okay. Her name is Pinky Suzanne Carr. All right, let's check the chat room. My bid is $1, Your Honor. Black. The woman was black. That's why she was told on. Black woman who lost all her fucks. Oh Lord, she's a black doing criminal justice reform. Kinda. Oh yeah, she real black. Pinky sounds like she thinks sea moss can cure COVID-19 and 5G caused it. The Juneteenth comment sealed it for me. Black P Valley? Sister of Clay Davis, Black. Tyler Perry presents Judge Trifling Black.
Oh no!
It's time for the nigga showcase showdown. Black reparation judge, the correct answer. Everyone said the same thing. It's Black. Now she sounds like a good time, but I wouldn't want to be in her courtroom. And she's holding up a sign. The context of the sign is not clear. It says, "I apologize to so-and-so Stone and all the police for being and threatening to kill y'all. I'm sorry. It will never happen again." So what's she gonna make somebody hold up this sign as punishment? This picture right here is perfect. This is exactly how I picture her face when she was telling somebody, "I'm not fitting to put on no damn robe," you know. This is another post with her bailiff where she probably like, "Hey, Miss Pudding, this see, tell her what I wrote in this judgment."
Her bailiff is white.
Yeah, in this picture. Now here's the thing. I don't think she should be able to practice law
at all.
Okay, I don't think she should ever get back on the bench. This is
so I agree with that indefinitely.
But I do want Amazon to give her a show. I do want to see Miss Pinky, Miss Pinky's courtroom. I think it would be really good. We just need to take her power to jail people away from her. We don't need to give her that much power. But like two roommates fighting over who's supposed to pay the repairs for the car that they crashed, I want to see what she got to say about that. Okay? And I think y'all do too. If you're being honest with yourself, y'all would love to see her go off on somebody for calling her ma'am.
Coming in there in workout outfits.
Yes.
Spandex.
I would love to be sitting at the crib where somebody's like, she's like, "Now who dog is it anyway?" And then the person like, "Ma'am," and then all of us will be like, "Ooh, I know he didn't call her ma'am. You know, Miss Pinky, Judge Pinky don't like that."
She'll be like that judge on Family Guy that was
American Dad.
I'm not Family Guy, American Dad. That every time she said something, it was like a mimic or some shit. She had juicy pants on and everything. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, she seemed like listen, Judge Pinky seemed like a character. Like, I don't think she should have the power to really affect people's lives too much. But listen, whose couch is it anyway? Shit, sign me up. I'll watch.
Yes, whose couch is it anyway?
I'll watch Judge Pinky be tell me like tell somebody that if they paid for the couch and you owe them and bought some new shoes, you shouldn't be able to do that. I'll watch that. LA, last story, of course, sword ratchetness. Gotta do that before we get out of here. LAPD tasers man, 23, armed with 2 samurai swords and body cam footage after he went on a stabbing spree following a family dispute and left his mother with lacerations to her arms and torso.
Shit, too?
Yeah. A man with 2 katana swords attacked a 43-year-old woman on Tuesday before being arrested. Eric Herrera, 23, was tasered twice in the middle of an LA street after going on a rampage with swords and stabbing a woman police said was his family member. The incident took place at a place I don't know. That means nothing to me. LAPD has released body footage showing him being tasered and arrested, and later to officers treating the woman who was covered in blood. It was 11:20 at night, October 18th. They received a call that an assault with a deadly weapon was taking place. As LAPD officers arrive, Herrera can be seen in the street brandishing the 2 swords. A seemingly uninjured white dog can also be seen running around. Herrera is asked by the police to put the swords down, but he does not cooperate. Is subsequently tasered, causing him to fall to the ground. An officer then grabs one of the swords from his hands. Once lying on the road, he is tasered a second time, forcing him to drop the other sword. Once both swords were seized, he was arrested at 11:35. They later found his mom on the front steps of her house with multiple stab wounds and gave her first aid. She warned the officers she had a daughter in the house and assured them the daughter had not been harmed. They put a tourniquet on her arm to prevent loss of blood from a deep cut on her hand. So yeah, that's wild. They said it was triggered by a family dispute. And what the fuck? What kind of dispute make you stab your mama?
Right.
I mean, I know some people got worse moms and shit than others, but this seemed like a scary ass situation with if he wouldn't have had them two swords, you know, maybe it wouldn't have went down this way. So yeah, she was taken to the hospital. She's in stable condition, so that's good. He's being held on $1 million bail. And I don't even know what you do when it's your family member. Think about it.
That's a good question.
It's your family member. Like, who paying his bail? I ain't got the $1 million, you know. And do I let him out when I'm supposed to stay with me? You know, I should say take the swords out the house no matter what happens. All right, y'all. That's it for today's show. Thanks for listening. We'll be back later on in the week. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.